We're with Bryan Hayes and Bruce Boudreau now. So, guys, Sergei Bobrovsky has struggled in this series, 9 goals against in 2 games. And Hayes, we'll start with you. Do the Leafs have Bob rattled?
I'm not sure it's possible to rattle Bob. I really don't. But I do think they have Bob on notice, and I think that's very significant. There's been a lot of crazy storylines that have come out of the first 2 games, but I think maybe lost in the shuffle somehow is the fact that the Maple Leafs have made Sergei Bobrovsky look human, and we haven't seen that in the playoffs in over 2 years. They've scored 9 times on him in 2 games. Yes, there have been some very difficult goals, but other ones he's given up that are just simply not Sergei Bobrovsky-like, including the game winner in Game 2 where Mitch Marner just threw it on net, C&I shot, and it gets through him. So they definitely have Bob on notice. Again, there have been some fluky goals or some bad goals that he would want back, but I also think you got to credit the Maple Leafs here, Bruce, because they're getting in front of him, right? They're getting in front of him. They're creating some traffic and a lot of odd man rushes, like multiple breakaways through 2 games, multiple 2-on-1s, and specifically a guy like William Nylander, you give him the puck right in front of any goalie in the league, that goalie's in big trouble. We've seen him multiple times through 2 games. So I don't think they have Bob rattled necessarily, Bruce, but I think they definitely have him on notice.
I couldn't agree with you more. He's been through everything from winning a Vezina to looking terrible the next year to winning the cup to losing the cup. So you're not going to rattle him. But I will tell you that he's feeling the pressure right now. He knows that if he isn't the Sergei Bobrovsky that stops 40 out of 42 tonight, that they're not going to win, and if they're not going to have a chance at the cup. So this is a game right now where he has got to be at his absolute best. And you're absolutely right, Brian. Like there has been times in this series where he's stopping shots left, right, and center, but then there's other times where he looks like he's going to get a hot dog and he can't see the puck. And so it's crazy, but I've seen this his whole career where he has moments of where he's really good and he has moments where he's really bad. I think tonight at home that we're going to really find out what kind of pressure goalie he is, because the Leafs are not going to stop. They're going to come at you. Their great players are going to play great, and the pressure is going to be on. He's going to have to make the big saves and not let the little shots go in and affect him or the team.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what kind of Bob we get tonight, if he's looking for any hot dogs out there. Now, guys, you know the cliche says a series doesn't start until someone loses on home ice. So with that in mind, Bruce, your message to the Leafs, does it change tonight in Florida?
You know what? You don't have to tell the Leafs anything. They know. They've all been in the league for at least a year, but they've all played professional hockey. They've all been there. They know when you've got a team down 2-0, what can be happening. And if you win and you step on their throat, the series is over. It's going to be the first time the Leafs are going to make it into the 3rd round in God knows how long. And I think that they know all of this. I don't, as Craig Berube, have to come in and say, hey, boys, if you win this game, you've really got them. That answer is already clear. And this is why I think the Leafs in the first period are going to be as good as you've ever seen them. They're going to come out. They're going to come out hitting. They're going to come out no matter what Florida does. The Leafs are going to come out flying and going to get pucks deep, and they're going to crash the net, and they're going to look to get that 2-0 lead. That's what they're going to try to do. Whether they do it or not is another thing, but I'm sure that they don't need to be told what they need to do tonight.
Yeah, listen, Craig Berube has said all the right things all season and certainly throughout the playoffs. So I have no doubt that whatever messaging he's going to send to his team tonight, it will get through, it will resonate, and the Maple Leaf players will go out there and try to apply it into the game this evening. But I think if you're Craig Berube, you can still play the underdog role, even though you're up 2-0, because the whole world thinks Florida's winning tonight. You look at the books on FanDuel, it's Florida minus 230. At times, it's been minus 250, minus 260. These are massive odds. This is the rest of the world saying Florida's a lock. They're going to win tonight. So if you can play the underdog card, it's difficult when you're up 2-0. I think tonight's the night because, again, if you're looking internally, if you're Craig Berube and you're this Maple Leaf team, the world still doubts you. The hockey world still thinks the champs are going to get up off the mat and the old Maple Leafs are going to show up. I think a lot of people thought of that in Game 2. We saw how that played out. I think the same messaging goes into tonight, and we'll see exactly how it plays out this evening.
Yeah, it's funny. It does feel in one sense like the Leafs are in the driver's seat, but they did come into this series as underdogs. And as we've just talked about, they're in a position to take this 3-0 series lead tonight. Hayes, how big of a statement would a win tonight be, especially when everyone thinks Florida is going to win?
Exactly. I think as big of a statement as you can get, Sarah. I really do, because we always hear the cliches. Like, you're going to get the best effort out of the Florida Panthers tonight. The Cup champs, they're going to show up, and they're not going to go down without a fight. And all of that is likely true. I fully expect Florida to show up tonight, and they still deserve that reputation because they've earned it the last 2 years. But they could be vulnerable, right? We've spoken about Sergei Bobrovsky. He could be vulnerable right now. He's played more hockey than any other goalie in the NHL the last 2 years. The Leafs ran into a similar situation 2 years ago when they played the Tampa Bay Lightning, and Vasilevsky just ran out of fumes, right? He had been to back-to-back cups or 3 cups in a row and just ran out of fumes, and everything was getting past him, and the Leafs continued to put their foot down on the pedal. I think the same thing could be happening here with Bobrovsky. I'm not convinced Matthew Tkachuk is at 100%. Bruce, if the Leafs win tonight, it's not only about the confidence that continues to grow for the Maple Leafs. What you're telling a team that has played more hockey than anyone else, and a team that's already got the Cup ring, is they've got to come back from the biggest deficit you can get back from. I'm not sure they have that ability. Tonight's game, in terms of a statement, Bruce, I can't imagine being any bigger in the Matthews era.
It can't be, and it won't be. I mean, this is going to be it. But the one thing the Leafs have got to worry, they don't worry about it now, but if they don't happen to have the success that we're all planning on them having tonight, then they've got to be worried about, okay, let's stay on the even keel. We've only lost one, and that's my biggest fear. But I never use the word lose, defeat, anything in the room. Everything is about staying the course, doing the things that you've been doing. Listen, Florida's played good, but they haven't played good enough. But has it been Florida's best? Maybe it has. I don't know. But the Leafs can have found a way in this series and in other series. If another team pushes it up a gear, the Leafs can push it up a gear. So that's what I'm expecting. And you're right, they can step on the throat tonight, but the biggest problem is if they do win, Toronto's going to already be making the parade for the Cup and the parade route and everything else. They got to stay the course and listen, just stay focused on one. I know it's tough to do one game at a time, but let's win this game. Let's do what we can to win this game, and whatever comes of it, we will deal with it appropriately. If we lose, we'll deal with it. If we win, we will deal with it. And so, I mean, I think that's the approach that if I'm Craig, that I'm taking. Let's go get these guys, but let's leave nothing in the tank. We'll deal with everything tomorrow. We'll wake up. It'll be a sunny day in Florida, and we'll find out what we have to do for the next game.
Well, we certainly know anything is possible tonight, but a win tonight would have the Leafs one away from the conference final. So hard not to get ahead of ourselves a little bit, but only 4 teams in NHL history have come back from a 3-0 hole.